What is going on, everyone? Chris with Journals, Comics, and Pop Culture. We are live Tuesday, middle of the week. Hope everyone is having a good week. What's going on, Legion? Let's see. What's Legion chiming in on already? Does this imply people really don't have better to do? I'm intrigued. It's not clickbait, and I'll explain why once we get into it. I want to say what's up to everyone that popped in here. We got GT Key Comics, Circumstances. I hope you're still here, Circum, because I love you jumping the gun. Raising Elm, thank you. Said I can't be here for the live. Gotta support. Thank you, Raising Elm. You know, I really appreciate you. I say it constantly. You are an amazing human being. Thank you. MA3, what is going on? Manny the Hoblock Goblin Collector, is this still going? Don't support folks and collect your way. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know about the rest of that comment there, but yeah, I'm not gonna address that because we're gonna keep moving on. Shadow Rat, what's going on, Shadow Rat? We got Library of Comics. What's up? What's going on? Fight the power. That's another stream for another channel for sure. I love this. No matter what, look, we haven't even gotten into a discussion yet, and I love what Legion says here. The best tactic is and will always be simply being the best example of what you want to see in others, which includes being welcoming and passionate. I love that, and that's anything in life, not even what we're gonna just address today, folks. Right? MA3 been good, awesome, folks. So let's take a couple of minutes just to let a few more folks get in before we start hashing some things out. I don't want this to be a really long live stream today. We might go for an hour. All right. It's Tuesday. What do we got coming up on the channel? Obviously, I got some videos dropping during the week. Friday, I should still have a solid Friday night live. I'll be announcing that probably within a couple of days. Fat Dad, what's going on? Jay Ward, what is going on? And then Sunday, of course, we have our Comic Book Canon show, folks. I really want to let everyone know, if you guys aren't subscribed to us at Comic Book Canon, that link is in the description below. Go check us out, man. We have a really awesome show. I'm telling you, we haven't been pushing and promoting as much as we should, but we've been doing it for a couple of years now, and it's very streamlined in terms of three really awesome segment. We do weekly pop culture news. Then we do our props or flops segment, which you guys see on my channel. You guys could be a part of that by submitting to Instagram. And then we have our Fresh from the Comic Shop segment, which you guys could be a part of also by submitting to Instagram. And we also give away every month to a winner that's picked either by guest co-hosts. We have actually semifinalists picked by guest co-hosts, and then the finalists is picked by the community on Instagram. We give away an EGS slab every single month. Big shout out to Tony and EGS for sponsoring that segment each and every month. So guys, the link to Comic Book Canon is below. We go live on Sundays right now, but starting in January of 2023, we will be going live Monday night. So hopefully, that frees up. I know Sundays are kind of an interesting day. But Pedro, what's going on, Pedro? Caleb, for sure, man. Not always in full agreement, but really respect what you bring to the table. I love hearing people say that more than anything. I don't always agree, but thank you for speaking your mind and, bringing what you bring to the table. That to me shows that I'm doing, hopefully doing something right. I don't want to stroke my ego or stand on a pedestal, but we really got to understand that we got to have conversations, and I'm not here for an echo chamber. I'm not here to be a yes man. I'm not here for groupthink. I want to listen to you guys. I want you guys to listen to me. I want us to have a conversation, and that's what we're going to hopefully do today as well. We're going to take, let's take 2 more minutes, guys, before we get into the discussion to let a few more folks in. Jet City Comics, what's going on? Circumstances is still here. Awesome. Telling you, you're gonna see what we're talking about. You're gonna see what we're talking about. Let's see what else is going on, man. I'm gonna bring a lot of things on screen today. that we're going to show off. I don't know about you guys, but I saw Wakanda Forever on Saturday. It was amazing. King Chadwick. If you guys haven't seen it, go see it. Don't spoil it for folks in the comments, guys. But I got my Black Panther. This was from the first movie, this variant. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So amazing film, extremely emotional, extremely emotional. I wanted to share, I shared this on the Canon last week. I'm going to share it today as well. And then we're going to get into today's topic of discussion. All right. Original Zilla, what's going on? Original Zilla. Look, man, you could like the movie, you could dislike the movie, you can have your personal opinions, but those buzzwords, we're going to keep those buzzwords. We're going to keep that out of here today. We're not doing that. Because even what people think that word means, this movie was an amazing film. And I'm sorry if there was only 2 white people in it. You want to be mad at that for whatever reasons, that's on you. That's not what we're talking about today. So, and you know, no offense, I'm tired of hearing those buzzwords. I really am. I really am. Took my black wife and my 2 mixed biracial children to see it. We all loved it. It was an amazing freaking film. We cried, we laughed, we were entertained. And it was just a great movie with great storytelling. But before we get into the topic of discussion, guys, I want to give a big shout out to a friend of the channel, Steven. This individual had a really good friend pass away recently. And he reached out to me saying, look, I can't keep all of his collection, but I just don't want to sell it to LCSs. I want to sell it to someone that could keep some, that would cherish some, maybe sell some and make some money back. And he knows that I've been doing that. So he sent me a box. We worked out a price for a box. He might keep sending me a box here and there, but he gifted me a couple of things. He asked me, who are your favorite artists? I didn't know why. He just asked. And the 2 people I said my ultimate time favorite artist is John Romita Sr., hands down. And I said another one that's really inspired me was Sal Buscema, one of my favorite Spider-Man artists as well. And he sent me some art prints. And first up here, let's let the light focus in here. Oh gosh, there we go. This is an original Sal Buscema. Man, there we go. If you guys can see that, Sal Buscema, there's the signature. There it is. Best wishes, Sal Buscema. This was from his friend that passed. And I am so honored to have these in my collection. These will stay with me forever. I'll pass them down to my kids. They can pass it down to their kids. And everything else. That's not all. He sent me this one. I was blown away. Blown away. This is the legend. Green Goblin sketch done by John Romita. It says to Kim because that was his friend's girlfriend. But that's okay. It's just a beautiful, beautiful John Romita Green Goblin sketch, man. So again, Big Steve, I appreciate you so much. You know, your friend's collection, I know it means a lot to you. It meant a lot to him. And these are going to mean so much to me again. And I know it's tough to get that light off of these, but yep, those aren't going anywhere. They're staying in my family to honor Steven's friend forever. So with that being said, Original Zilla, man, you really want it? Like, oh, we're not even going there today, man. I just can't. We can't. I'm not. And this is my problem, guys. I can't hold back. If somebody has a problem with the women in the Black Panther film, then that's your problem. That's all I got to say. If anybody has a problem with the women that were heroes in the Black Panther film, you got a bigger problem, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying anything like that, but you got a real problem that you're living with that I hope you could figure out. That's it. But we got a topic of discussion to discuss tonight. Zilla, I understand, and you're probably one that would be able to have an open conversation, but I just, the majority of people that use the buzzwords, they're not. They're not. They can't have an open conversation. So that's what's frustrating me. So hey, look, hey, reach out to me. I don't know if you have Instagram, but reach out to me. Maybe we can have a discussion about it and have a respectful discussion, because I'm open to hearing it, as long as it's not just, just complete hatred. I can't even go there right now, though. I can't even go there. So we're gonna move on. But Zilla, my door is always open. Reach out to me on Instagram, send me an email, and we could talk privately. We can discuss on a show. It's all good. But let's get to the topic at hand today. All right, folks. Actually, Dracula, what's going on? DJ Links, what's going on? Griffin Hart, what's going on? Okay, folks. So you guys saw the title, and I know Circumstances did, because he was already trying to clown. What was the title, guys? I forget. I got to bring it up. What was the title here? It was Standing Up for Real Collectors, the Fight Against Whatnot and Influencers. All right. Now, a little bit of this is going to be tongue-in-cheek, but just a little bit, because I don't want to come off like I'm being cynical to anybody. I really don't, from the bottom of my heart. Simon, thank you for being here, Simon. Hope you're doing well, man. We all know that there is a popular theme going around right now. I've talked about it quite often over the last few months. A lot of other YouTubers talk about it. A lot of people on Instagram talk about it. I've taken a bit of a different approach. And I've gotten reamed and attacked for it, but that's okay. So there's a lot of people that really believe that we have a fight going on against Whatnot and influencers, and it's us against them, and it's real collectors that need to stand together and siphon out those that aren't real collectors. And I'm going to break this down in a way that I haven't broke it down before, because I don't want to beat a dead horse. All right. So many people, again, I do have to state this. I've stated this before. So many people that are angry or upset at whatever it may be, your feelings are valid. And when I mean your feelings, I mean, if you see something going on that you think isn't right, whether it's just an assumption from your lenses and in the optics that you're seeing it, whether you have all the facts or not, you may feel a certain way about it, and that's valid. Okay. So don't ever take anything that I say. People still will, but do your best not to take anything that I say as being a pacifist to wrongdoing, or making excuses for people that are, doing unethical things, or like Manny said earlier, apologists. In no way am I sitting here being an apologist whatsoever. I don't think Manny was saying that I am. I think he was just making a statement. But don't ever take what I do ever as that, because I always said, if there is a fight to be had against greed, unethical practices, and behavior in anything, I will be the first to speak out on it. I will be the first to speak out on it. But I have a certain way of doing it, right? What you will never see on my channel, in my videos, on my IG, in my IG post, or in my live streams, I will never accept it from my chat either. You will never see me using emojis to bully, calling people names, and like clowns, and whatever names you could think of. You will never see me stooping to a level of antagonizing hatred, even if my point is valid, even if I have a valid point of saying this person on Whatnot is like, I feel like this individual is a slimy seller. They're not doing things ethically. I've talked about this before, and I've talked about how to stay away from them, but we're going to take it to another level today. because the fight and circumstances, this is where we're going with this today here, okay? Friends with issues, what's going on? This whole idea of, I like how Circumstance said in my comment, like, tell me where the influencer hurt you, touched you and hurt you or something like that. If you all want to really sit here and act like we're in a fight against a whatnot and influencers, I'll tell you what's not going to solve that fight. I'll tell you what is not going to solve that fight. Creating an IG in everything that you post are memes of every big YouTuber out there or every big whatnot seller out there talking mad-ish in your little description, using little clown emojis to laugh at them, to mock them, using little, pile of dookie memes, putting googly eyes on a YouTuber, and that's all it is. You go on these IG pages, I'm all about the real community, and all it is them mocking and trash talking and bullying people that are on YouTube or whatnot. And you go in the comments and what is ever, you guys, I did a stream and I did a video just yesterday, I believe it was, where I showed you how that hypes people up, how the pitchfork mob comes, they see these accounts, literally, like, we need to extinguish influencers at any means necessary, like, show up at their houses, take secret pictures of them. That's what these accounts are. So the same people that they and look, they've spent months and months and months doing this, are the same people not selling on whatnot, making thousands of dollars a month, probably, are the same people not on YouTube with 50, 150,000 subscribers, getting thousands of views, way more than you and the people you follow. They're still doing their thing. So what are you doing? Is your IG account that has nothing but horse shit emojis and clown emojis and high school bullying? Are you changing the landscape for real collectors? No, because I guess somebody just sold a jacket for $150 last week and you were pissed off about that. Nothing's changing. Nothing's changing. You got people on YouTube that come and stream for 3 to 4 hours a day. I'm one of them. No, I don't go for that long, and I'm not here every day. But hey, you can call me out if you want to, but I'm doing something different. But you got the people that come in on YouTube and stream every day or make videos every day and talk about, why we need to freaking talk mad-ish about all these people, and we need to like, stomp them out. We need to stomp them out. And they sit there and they highlight comments. They bring up comments. What's going on, Noob? They bring up comments, and the comments say, yeah, man, we should put this dude in a scope. Like, let's see him at the next con. Yeah. That's what they do. But what's it changing? What is it changing? Is that dude you wanted to put in a scope closing his whatnot? Is he losing money? Does he have less people in his sale? No. Does he have less people watching his videos? No. What are you doing? What are you doing for the real collector? I think that's a valid point. Circumstances. We on the same page now? And we still got it, man. We still got it. Yep. Absolutely. But that's the thing. Maybe people do collect what they enjoy. Maybe these people that are so mad is somebody buying a jacket for $150. Maybe that person wanted to buy the jacket for $150 because they enjoyed buying it. Maybe these people enjoy buying these crappy exclusives for $200 a pop. Maybe they enjoy that. Let them. Let them. I got a point here, though, of how we're going to fight this fight, how we're going to fight whatnot, and how we're going to fight influencers. I have a solution. I do today. Okay, Legion, absolutely. Are you able to look past, well, okay, are you able to look past their emojis and ask yourself if they have a point or where they come from? Legion, if you watch my channel, you would know that that's what I absolutely do. Guess what? I've actually, over the last week, I have reached out to multiple individuals that do nothing but post their little emojis and their little memes and talk mad-ish, right? And I keep it PG-13 for all the youngins that watch my show, for those that don't know. I have literally reached out to them and said, hey, hit me up privately. Let's talk. Come on my show. If you have an isolated incident where you have some type of facts or data to say this is wrong, I'll talk about it. None of them, not one, got back. Well, actually, one of them got back to me, but you know what he did. He gaslit me, called me names, and used emojis, right? So, first off, when they stoop to using emojis and name calling, why do I need to look? I don't need to look past that. They shoot themselves in the foot because then they don't justify their cause. But I still try to be a good human being and look past it, and I have. I mean, I'll read you guys something real quick right here. I'll read you guys something. But I'm going to tell you how to solve it. Legion, there are real issues going on out there. I'm not mocking anybody. I'm not. And there are real issues. I see nasty stuff on Whatnot. I see nasty stuff on eBay. I see nasty stuff at cons. I see nasty stuff at LCSs. I see people on YouTube maybe doing, well, yeah, I do, because I think all of this, mob mentality is nasty as well, becoming that in which they hate, right? But I'm going to tell you, we're going to get to how we fight this. But I'm going to bring something up, guys. And again, I'm not saying any names today. This is not what this is about. This is not about names. Funny thing, one individual wants to call me an influencer, but they have a larger following on Instagram than I do. Isn't that funny? But so I was brought up by one of these people. I was called an influencer and this and that, and yada yada yada. And it's all good. I didn't stoop to their level. I didn't call them names. I didn't do anything of that sense. But I said this. I'm going to leave their name out of it. But this is what I said, people. I said this. Since I continually am being addressed, which I was, I wanted to set the record straight for everyone, because you and I can both agree that it isn't fun when someone makes false accusations publicly against you. And that was just me standing up for myself and say, hey, look, you guys are distorting the facts about who I am. And I'm going to just jump in here cordially and respectfully. And I continued on with this. I'm going to state this as clear as I possibly can. You and I have had real deep conversations in the past. We have, me and this individual. And I've always supported your intent to shed light on wrongdoings, which I have. I was always honest with you about not always agreeing with the way that you did it, though. So, and this goes back years, man. This individual and I, we used to have talks, like actual talks. And he used to show me, like, certain things that were happening with maybe certain apps or certain individual. I'm like, I hear you. Like, this might be concerning. I see what this looks like. And we would have conversations. But I would tell him, like, look, man, like, if you turn into the ugly in which you hate, you're going to lose your message. You're going to lose your ability to stand up for what you believe in. Don't stoop to a childish level and call people names. If you want to call them out, be the bigger person. And there was a point in time where I felt like they were actually acknowledging that and tried to change, but then they got even worse. But I'm going to continue on here. This is what I said. I was honest with you about not always agreeing with the way that you did it, though. Resorting to name calling and cynical bashing is very immature. It does nothing to actually resolve problems. With that said, your statement about me wanting to silence opinions or the truth is 100% false. And to prove so, I want to humbly invite you on my channel to speak your truth. I will give you the floor and give you the utmost respect. I will tell my viewers that if they say one disrespectful thing about you, that they will be blocked, because I wouldn't be doing this to bully or stroke my ego. And I mean that. Anybody that has ever kept my name in their mouth or had a problem with me or disagrees with me, when I invite you on my channel and you think, oh, well, he's just going to invite me on my channel and his audience is going to like freaking attack me. Like, look, there's other people out there that'll do that. I'm not those people. Other people on YouTube do that. I'm not one. If somebody comes on my channel and they could be yelling at me, they could disagree with me. If anybody in the chat stoops to a level of bullying or name calling this individual, I will at first put you on mute. And if you keep it up, I will block you. I don't care if you're a channel member of mine, a Patreon member of mine, or if you've been subscribed to my channel since I had 5 subscribers. I don't care. I will block you. That's to show who I am as a human being, as a content creator, and as an individual in this community that cares about the platform that I have, about the power that my platform gives to this community. Let me continue on. Let me see. I will give you the I will give you the floor and give you the utmost respect. I will tell my viewers that if they say one disrespectful thing about you, that they will be blocked, because I wouldn't be doing this to bully or stroke my ego. If your true intent is to shed light on harm, the harm that's being done in this community, then my door is open for you to come voice that truth. All that I ask is that you bring truth and leave the name calling and immature rhetoric at the door. And if we end that show and there is enough evidence to prove that anybody is doing, anybody or any entity is doing any real harm, I will contact them to come on my show and address it. And I put the names here. I don't care if it's Comic Tom, Nerdy Girl, Gem Mint, Very Gary, Scath, anybody selling on YouTube. I don't care, or whatnot. I don't care who it is. I don't care. I will not shy away from holding anybody accountable, because where you have it wrong is that I am not here to try to be a part of any club, as many people accuse me. Oh, he just wants to be a part of the comic fam. He's trying to be a part of the club, which is really ironic and deflection and reverse psychology if you think about it, but I'll just leave it at that. But I continue on. So my offer is on the table. I am a man of my word, and my only intent is to build bridges, because I actually do believe in walking the walk when it comes to being a decent human being. No response. And I said almost that same thing to a handful of people over this past week. Most of them didn't reply, and the one that did replied back by trying to gaslight me using the memes and the emojis and the name calling, just like they do everyone else that they try to shame. So what are they here for? Are they really being true collectors that care about the community? Because nothing's changing. I'm going to tell you though, like, if any of them are watching, I'm going to tell you how you're doing it wrong and how you can hold the whatnotters and the YouTube influencers accountable. We're going to get to that, but I'm going to get to some comments here. Sean Miller, appreciate you being here, Sean. I'm going to have Sean on my channel soon. I would invite him today, but I want to I want to have a show where we actually can sit down. I don't want to rush the conversation. Sean actually commented on this type of situation, and he was honest with me and said, Chris, I think sometimes what you do is divisive. I think sometimes what you do kind of like is, I don't know if he said like dishonest or something like that, but I was like, you're completely wrong. But he left like an essay of a comment too. Everything he said though was said with thought and with respect. He didn't name call me. He didn't use emojis. He didn't, he didn't like come from, and he wasn't like acute. He wasn't coming from an accusatory state, although you can say that some of the things he was saying were kind of, they weren't accusations. It was him saying, this is my perception, right? And he did it respectfully. I'm gonna have Sean on maybe next time, sometime next week. Sean, we'll have that talk, and I want everyone to come. Everyone that's here now, when you see that, we're gonna have a really good talk. I know it, because Sean is gonna be honest with me. We're gonna disagree, but you're gonna see two grown individuals being able to work through disagreements and have a conversation that can actually water, soil, and grow fruit. Santa Kringle, look, and this is fine. If you think that way, that's fine. But are you making videos and or IG posts like calling these people names and creating memes about them just to rile up your followers to do the same thing in your comment section? You probably don't even go into their shows or pay them any mind, right? And hey, that's fine. Collect how you want to collect, buy from who you want to support, right? Heroes Reborn, what's going on? DJ Link says, I'm afraid to use emojis here. Let's see. We all have the right to buy from who we want and pay way over market value if we want, right? Yeah, Library of Comics. You're right. It is silly, man. Fat Dad, exactly. I don't definition of a real collector and whatnot influencer, please. I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm gonna bring this up real quick, guys. I sell on Whatnot. I think Whatnot is a great platform. I think it has a lot of issues. And I think it's going to be here for a very long time. No matter how much you guys scream and shout about how much you hate it, which is fine. I mean, you have the right to do that. I sell on Whatnot. There's a lot of positives. I have a lot of issues with Whatnot as well. I do. Whatnot actually reached out to me and wanted to take my account in my selling account in a certain direction. I humbly passed. I'm going to be doing either a video or a live stream. So again, for all those that say, "Oh, I just want to be in the I'm an apologist," or I just want to make excuses for people doing unethical things, or I'm just trying to be part of the fam, or whatever I just want to be a part of some popular clique. If that was the case, I would have accepted this offer that Whatnot offered me. That's going to be coming maybe sometime this week or next week, where I'm going to explain. And again, it's nothing, it's not like this big, depth to Whatnot. It's just, it's not my cup of tea. It's not for me. I'm going to use Whatnot to the extent of how I feel it's going to benefit me and who I am in my business, in the ethics and the culture that I want to build my business on. I believe it's a platform that could do that. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of issues with Whatnot for sure. I'm going to get to a few more comments, and then I'm going to bring up how we actually solve problems. Who is the individual? Zilla says it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If the individuals here watching, they know who they are. I don't need to say their name. Why do I need to say their name? If you guys follow them, you can go, you can see it in the comment section of their posts. I don't need to say anybody's names. And I'm going to be quite honest of why. Why? For one, well, there's two reasons. One, it just gives these people fuel. They want me to say their names. They want me to say their names because all they care about is being fueled up to fan the fire, to fuel the fire so they can have more content to make. Also, though, I don't believe it's right for me to say their names, because then the optics of all of you, it can look like I'm doing the same thing that they're doing. What makes me any better than them if I'm sitting here saying, "Oh, look at so-and-so on Instagram," and, even though I'm not like bad mouthing them or shaming them or using silly emojis to bully them. Still, I care about perception, and it wouldn't be the right perception. And I don't need to do that. I don't need to say their names. They know that they're welcome on my channel anytime. And you all know, because I just said it, that if I bring them on my channel and you guys disrespect them or bully them, I'm blocking you. I don't care who you are. I'm blocking you. So, yeah. Nerdtastic, what's going on? Legion of Comics. I feel like you're, and again, not that your questions aren't valid, but I remember you recently going on your channel and kind of having to stand up against these same people, right? But I like the questions that you're posing. Is someone's purpose only measured by their effectiveness? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I never said it was. But when all you do, when everything that you do is counterproductive, right? When everything you do is counterproductive and never finds a solution, why would you keep doing it? If you beat your head against a brick wall and it starts bleeding and you're doing it thinking that it's going to bring you joy, why would you keep beating your head against the brick wall? No, go bandage it up. That's my point. I'm not measuring their purpose by their effectiveness, but what is somebody's purpose if it's always counterproductive? And it's obvious that it simply fuels hate. So much so that it is at times inciting violence. It's inciting bullying. It's inciting division. It's inciting prejudices. And that ain't an opinion. People want to talk about receipts. Y'all could go there and research it. Go do your research. Go online, watch the streams, go into the IG accounts. You know what it's perpetuating. And again, it goes back to the intent. You name calling these people ain't phasing them. But I'm going to move on a couple more questions before I bring up the solution. Yeah, Sean Miller said that he believes that I contradict myself. I go back and forth. And I will talk about this a little bit, Sean. We can dive into this in our conversation deeper, though. But I told him that's not true. And y'all can pull my card any day. I have never once went back on anything that I said. In terms of the context of what we're talking about. You know, if it was something that I was misinformed about or something like that, and I educate them, like that's something different. I mean, when it comes to my stances on ethics and, you know, the moral compass and this community, that overall state of this community, I've never gone back on it. The thing is, people have tunnel vision, right? I sit and I do a video saying key collector's wrong, then I'm these people's hero. But as soon as I do a video and say key collector's right, then, oh, now you're just sucking up to the fam. You see, Sean, that's what I do. It's not always black and white. So look, I could sit here and say, Nerdy Girl taking 75 books didn't look good. But I can also sit here and say, but that doesn't mean that Nerdy Girl is a horrible human being. You know, I'm going to pick pitchforks up to her. I'm going to stalk her at cons and take secret pictures of her and then go on my IG and create memes out of those pictures. I don't like what a certain YouTuber does. It doesn't mean that I have to believe every conspiracy theory ever, you know, stated about this individual as if it was fact. No. I do my research. It's not that black and white. I believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt, for one. And I do believe in playing detective and then playing lawyer to holding these people accountable. But here's the real thing, too. Most of the times, something might look bad, but you never have the full story. Again, when the C2E2 drama unfolded, I was one of the first to come out and say, before anybody talked about it, all we had was a one Facebook group post, somebody saying, There were like some sellers or YouTubers that cut lines. That was it. And already names were being thrown under the bus. And I came on my show and all I said was, don't jump to conclusions. Wait for the facts to come out. Gather your facts. Don't stoop to no childish level and name call and bully. Stick to the facts. Go try to have conversations and then hold them accountable that way. But because I did that, I'm a apologist. I'm an apologist, or I'm sucking up to the fam. It's freaking hilarious. It's hilarious. And again, that just goes to show me these people intent. They don't care. They don't care. And then, they all milked it. They all milked it because boy, did that give them content. But then again, you can point a finger back at me and say, well, you're doing the same thing. You're making content about it as well. All right. Heroes Reborn. What's going on? What's going on? Steven says, I personally do not buy on Whatnot, but I don't see the problem all these individuals have with it. Anything that helps grow the hobby is fine with me. I'm glad. Yeah, I hear you. Look, guys, I've talked about this on my channel. I actually did. It's funny. It's so funny that I get categorized as this influence. I hardly even talk about spec anymore. I stopped doing top 10s because I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of talking about books that, are going to get hot, because FOMO is out of control, especially with the MCU and option properties. They're just going to drop back down a few months later. Tired of talking about it. If people want to talk about it, though, that's fine. I have no problem with that. I'm not going to be like, oh, look at them doing their top 10s. They're evil. It's just not for me anymore. But it's so funny that I get blackballed, because I actually did a video taking screenshots from a couple sellers on Whatnot. And I showed people this book sold in a lower grade for like $200. And while it was selling, what I did, I had Whatnot up, and I went on eBay at the same time. And you literally could buy a higher grade for like $50 of that same book. So if I was in this live stream and there's a 1-minute clock ticking down or a 30-second clock, I could go on eBay and see that there was a higher grade for $50. I could have bought that instead of bidding up this Whatnot auction to $200. What is that doing? It's educating people. Did I come out and call people names? Did I have to put the seller's name? No, I didn't need to do that because people bid it up. I mean, the individual was starting the bids at a low starting price. What did I do? I educated people. You think these people on IG are educating people? They're not educating nobody. You think these people on YouTube, using this to, get them because they know what brings them the most views ever on any of their videos? Are they educating people? For the most part, no. And honestly, there have been people that used to educate people. They actually used to educate people, but they got so drunk on the drama. And now it's not about educating people. It's about, the echo chamber. Discovery Bay, what's going on? I have a channel. I'm on other people's channels. I sell on Whatnot. I feel there are a lot of channels like mine that get clustered into the bad Whatnot sellers. I can't get 30 people in a sale. Are you talking about from the Whatnot app itself, Discovery? Are you saying that like when you go live, you think that Whatnot isn't like pushing your sales like in the algorithms? Or are you saying that the perception of buyers and viewers think that you're some bad, shady seller and they don't want to go to your sales? Is that, can you add context to that? I'm not sure if I'm understanding. Yep, Ryan, you're absolutely right. Ryan is absolutely right. Let's move on, though. The more time you spend on this, the more power you give them, and vice versa. True. And I know this, and I'm going to tell you all right now. This conversation is the clock's ticking on it, and the clock is almost expired. I'm doing this show today because I have a huge point, not to prove to them, but to prove to all of you and to help you guys out. It's really to help you guys out. And then secondly, I am going to bring Sean on, sometime in the near future, because he was very, very open and honest to come in and be truthful with me about perception. And I think perception is important, right? And look, if there is ever any time somebody, maybe there's something unethical going on, I will be happy to be the journalist. I will be happy to be the individual that can bring, like, there's actually a situation going on where somebody involved with Whatnot and a seller, there was an agreed upon transaction that didn't necessarily go right. And I'll tell you, it's bad perception right now for this individual on Whatnot. But I don't have all the facts. So I'm reaching out to both of them as a journalist, and I'm saying, guys, I want to work this out. Can we come to a solution? Give me your side of the story, or come onto a live stream and let's talk it out. And then what does that do? That solves problems. It actually solves problems. All right, all right. Yep. Yeah, even Sean says I don't have a lot of problem with a majority of sellers on Whatnot. I said this before and I'll say it again, guys. I sit and I snipe. I snipe and what, not snipe like as in buying, but I'll sit. I'll sit back in Whatnot shows. I'll go to big sellers. I'll go to Pokemon shows. I'll go all over. Do you know that the most slimiest, the most nastiest sellers, like that are like, come on, guys, bid this up. You can't let that go for this low. The most unethical sellers that I've seen are ones that never get talked about by these IG accounts, that all they do is spend, freaking 20 hours of their day posting memes of these people. Most of the slimiest sellers that I've ever seen don't even have YouTube channels. Some of them might have LCSs, but you never hear the LCSs getting talked about. Where's depth to the LCS? Where's the LCS is ruining comic books? Where's that? I have plenty of LCSs that I go into where, I mean, I have an LCS that I haven't stepped foot in for what? Over a year and a half now. I made a video about it. This LCS lost my business for life. Where's the death to the LCS? Where's LCS is a ruin of comic books? Greed and nasty people are out there all over the place. All over the place. People take this industry so personal. That's the disconnect, Brian. I hear you. Yeah. Okay, Legion, absolutely. And that's what I appreciate. I just wanted to make sure, like, where you're coming from, and that's why I said I like the questions, because it adds to the debate. Absolutely. Yeah, and DJ Link just validated. Legion, man, I would love to have you on sometime and have some debates. I love debating too, man. I took debate in college and I love it. All right, let's see, guys. Okay, Common Journey, what's going on? Common Journey, can't keep my mouth closed. Yeah, it has Heroes Reborn. I mean, there's good. And look, I'm not mad at that. Like, look, let's talk about it. I didn't mean to sit here and be, like I said, I'm not trying to be cynical. And when I said, oh, everyone just knows it's going to be their best videos, I mean, I do feel that's the case a lot. But at the same time, if we talk about it in the right way, good can come from it. It can. But it has to be done the right way. All right, guys, I got to get through these. Right on. Oh, we got issues. Just said something. Jesse Lynch, what's going on? We got comics said, I collect comics, not no drama. I hear it, but I don't allow it to stop me during the comic hunt. Long live the hunt. I hear you. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to get to my point. We've discussed how all these people on IG, that all they do, they dedicate their accounts in their lives, literally. They dedicate their lives and their accounts to saying that they're for a community, to saying that they're all about true collectors. And they even tell you, it's got to be us against them. We got to rid them. When it's such a facade. And I've said this before, or maybe they start with good intent. Maybe they start with good intent, but they realize, oh man, this validates me. This validates my echo chamber. I'm going to keep doing it because we're so devolved that we think acting like a schoolyard bully works. And look, man, hey, maybe you thinking I'm making assumptions. Well, I've invited everyone to come on my show and nobody ever wants to. Wonder why? Because I'm not going to echo chamber their echo chamber. Going on Instagram and creating memes of YouTubers and whatnot sellers, taking secret pictures of them, using shit emojis, using clown emojis, calling them names, and getting everybody in your comments to like, that's right, man, that's right. Let's eliminate them. Let's incite violence. Let's do this. Let's do this. Going on your whatnot streams and doing the same thing. It's never changed anything to this point. But I'm going to bring something up on screen right now. And I'm going to tell you what will change things. If these individuals stopped what they're doing today, if these individuals that cared so much that they think they're the real collectors and they want to stand up for the real collectors, whatever that means in their minds, you know what they would do? They would educate. So chat, I'm going to ask you, what's a recent book that either has had controversy or has had an outrageous sale price, in your opinion? Leave a book in the comments. Give me a book that you feel is selling like that people are taking advantage of. Maybe they're selling it overvalued. Or it's had some controversy over. And I'm not talking about acetate gate. No. But give me a book. Give me a book. I want a book that you think that maybe you've seen sell at an outrageous price recently. Or, you see people selling on whatnot and they're going for crazy prices. And you think that's nuts. Battle Damage Invincible. Is that the name of the book, Ryan? Battle Damage Invincible? I need more context. Darkhawk #1. Battle Damage whatnot variants? What issue is that? Invincible. So this is a whatnot exclusive variant. Is that what it is? Batman Kirkham Battle Damage? Give me like an issue. Is there an issue number to these things? Dazzler #1, Brendan. I just sold 3 Dazzler #1s yesterday. I just shipped them out today, actually. Tyler Kirkham covers. I need a specific issue. No, like issue #1, and if it's a variant, say Battle Damage variant or whatever the case may be. Because we're going to look it up. AF15, Hex 11. Sean, look, let me tell you something, guys, about this. Let me tell you something about this Wolverine jacket. And you guys could laugh at this, or you could think what you want to think about it. This individual that paid $100 and something for this Wolverine jacket, when you could buy it for like $30 used on eBay. This jacket was a used jacket worn by the seller for a very long time. Let me ask you something. And look, I'm not for hyping up celebrities, and I don't consider people on whatnot celebrities. I don't consider myself a celebrity. I think it's silly, but we live in a culture that if you put somebody in front of a screen, people view them as a certain type of celebrity. I mean, and that's part of where this whole influence jargon comes from, right? If people want to think like that, you can't change it. That's how they want to think. This person, Sean, bought this, or whoever was bidding on this was bidding on it because they wanted to own something that was worn by somebody that they look up to in some type of way. And you could think it's crazy. It is what it is. I would never, pay I would never pay 150. Like who do I love? Like I love Sade. I wouldn't pay $150 for like a pair of socks that she wore or something like that. Like, but that's just me. Some people might. So look, you can laugh at it, but don't take it out of context. Nobody was ripping anybody off. And that's just my humble opinion. But let's get a comic book, guys. Let's get a comic book. Okay, the seller knew that it wasn't the jacket in and of itself. That I guarantee you that seller knew that that jacket by itself wasn't worth what they paid for it. But they paid that much for it because they wanted to own a jacket from their favorite comic book dealer. I'm sorry, we're going to beat a dead horse on this one. We can agree to disagree, but it is what it is. Y'all can take it out of context and you can crucify this individual all you want. I think it's silly. I think it's silly. Yes, I do. But I have no weaponry or weapon power to crucify this seller. Absolutely none. Well, I'm just going to bring up, look, we're going to bring up Dark Hawk number 1. Okay? Dark Hawk number 1 shows up on your favorite YouTuber, either your favorite YouTuber or the favorite YouTuber that you love to hate. Your favorite YouTuber that you love to hate does a top 10 hottest selling comics of the week video, and they're saying, on the list today, we got Dark Hawk number 1, and it had a record-breaking sale in a 9.9 grade. There's only 3 9.9s on the census. Man, what do you think about this? Oh, let's talk about it. Here's the numbers. This is what it sold for. Man, whoever thought Dark Hawk would get this much pull? You think we're ever going to see Dark Hawk in the MCU? Well, I don't know. Maybe we could. We're bringing in a lot of these newer characters. Maybe there's some 90s nostalgia. Maybe we can see Dark Hawk in the MCU. All right. And what do people do? They go right onto eBay, or they go right onto whatnot, and they start bidding up on Dark Hawk books. Your favorite, carry the torch for the community, IGers and YouTubers see this. They take screenshots. They put in their little shit emojis and their little laugh emojis. And they're like, look at these clowns taking advantage of the comic fam. And, just they don't care about collectors. This is for the real community. And then you get everybody in the comments saying the same thing. Like, we should see them and stomp them out. We should put them in a scope. We should rid influencers at any cost, any means necessary. Let me catch them at a con. And it solves nothing. But let me tell you what does solve something. So you see your favorite YouTuber that you love to hate talking about Dark Hawk number 1, or you see your favorite whatnot seller that you love to hate talking about Dark Hawk number 1. Well, guess what? All you collectors out there, I'm going to do something that none of these accounts have done. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. We're going to share the whole screen, I guess. Here we go. This is what you do. Dark Hawk number 1. Tip number 1, folks. Tip number 1. Go to eBay sold. Dark Hawk number 1. Let's just say they're selling a 9.8. Dark Hawk number 1, 9.8. Tell me that I'm not showing you guys something new, right? Tell me. Oh, but everyone's taking so much advantage here. So let's just go. Okay, let's see. I know that a book recently sold for around 200 best offer, 199 best offer. Oh man, but look at this. 195, 225, right? Then what do? You go to Cover Price. You go to coverprice.com. You put in Dark Hawk. I mean, number one, you find the book. You pull it up. Yep, there it is. You go to 9.8 sales. And you know what I love about Cover Price, guys? Individual sale data. Here's every single 9.8 sold over the last 5 years, folks. 5 years, every sale. You know what you can also do? You could go to Go Collect. You could use Key Collector. Look, you can use, not to get their notifications about what's trending, you can use it just to look up the book, to find information on the book. I did all of this in a matter of, I showed you eBay and Cover Price in under 60 seconds. In under 60 seconds, folks. And if you see somebody in a Whatnot stream, look at this. I mean, well, let's look at these sales. 225, 200, 205. I mean, it was hitting over 300 one time back in August, but I mean, if you look at the last half a year, this book is anywhere from a $200 to a $250 book, guys, with the rough fair market value probably around 225. Okay? If you are in a Whatnot stream and you know it's a Whatnotter that you love to hate, and you see people bidding this up past $300, $350, $380, $400, you know what you can do? You can say, hey guys, rough fair market value right now is $225. You know what these IG people could do? Instead of making memes or just calling them names and bullying them and, you know, picking up the pitchforks and getting everybody in their echo chamber to say death to influencers. Look, all's fair in love and war. Take a screenshot of them. Maybe it's your favorite YouTuber. Maybe it's your favorite Whatnot seller that doesn't have a YouTube but is huge on Whatnot. Screenshot it. That's fine. And you can even go say, hey guys, post on IG. Here's a screenshot. I was in so-and-so's live stream and I saw the chat bidding this Dark Hawk 9.8 number one up, and it sold for $420. Right now, you could find that book in a 9.8 for under $250 on eBay. Boom. 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 What did you do? What did you do? You showed the specific incident, the isolated incident. You brought it what it sold for, and you educated your viewers. And you didn't say any names. You didn't name call that person. You educated your viewers. So maybe now people that watch that Whatnot seller, maybe they're not going to like block you because all you do is hate their favorite seller. Maybe they'll follow you and their favorite Whatnot seller. And maybe they'll listen to you next time they're in a chat, and they'll realize how to look up sales data. In that same post, you know, you can put multiple pictures. You can like swipe, and you can use multiple pictures in one post. Maybe you could do a screenshot of the sale, and then the next screenshot could be a screenshot of Cover Price of the last few sales of that book in a 9.8. Maybe it could be a screenshot of eBay sold, and you don't have to call anybody any names. And you know what you're doing? You're educating buyers, and you're holding those sellers accountable. You're holding those sellers accountable. And you did it without lowering yourself to subhuman being behavior. You didn't have to lower yourself to being a freaking disgusting, ignorant child bully. That's a solution. That is a solution. Heroes Reborn. There's ways around this too, and this is a valid. So this is something like, look, we don't need to name call people, right? By stating this, we could just say this is kind of an issue that I have. First off, if it's a book that's going, if they're starting it low and it's going to go up to $100 or $200, it's going to be more than a 15 or 15 second or 30-second auction because time's going to keep being added, right? I always have eBay up, have it prepared, have your computer up and your phone. I always have eBay up, I always have cover price up. I did that in less than 60 seconds. And also know what you're looking for. Know what you're looking for. And if you don't know, if you haven't done your research and you think it's getting too high, then make a judgment call. And hey, sometimes I bid high on eBay auctions. Sometimes I've gotten deals. That's the name of the game, and it ain't nobody's evil doing. Comic Journey, who's ignoring your comments? Because I am here to address everybody that wants to be addressed. There's a lot of comments coming in. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't use the same language as you, Comic Journey, but all right, let's see what everyone has said about my solution. Yeah, Sean, that Darkhawk #1, man, it's done a little something. Can we all just respect how others decide to spend their money? Different comic collections are what make collecting comics cool. Diversity of collections, absolutely, man. I said this before. It's one thing if we really think that, and it's not like, look, here's the funny thing. It's not like it's young kids that are on Whatnot spending hundreds of dollars, not knowing what they're buying. And look, I know there's uneducated buyers out there, but I just gave you guys the best example of what we can do to help that. The more we educate the collectors, the more it correlates, the more it has a domino effect of holding sellers accountable. It's just like what I say about Starbucks having $5 coffee right now. You don't like Starbucks selling coffee for $5? Don't buy it. If everyone stopped buying Starbucks coffees for one day, it would crash their stock. And they would have to think about reevaluating their costs. I mean, that's just a simple fact of economics, people. You will have a chain reaction if you educate the community. And look, they're going to say, well, all I'm doing is educating the community. Showing the same Whatnot seller, and first off, taking things out of context, like the jacket, completely out of context, and making memes about this person and talking crap about this person isn't educating anybody. It's high school click up bully tactics. Echo chamber. But we got issues. I hear you, because I've said this before. So many people buying exclusive variants want to pay that kind of money for exclusive variants. And the same people talking crap about them oftentimes flip around and sell exclusive variants. And that's another thing that I keep talking about as well. And people want to say that this is a gimmick. What I do is a gimmick. I do this for clicks and views. Every time I do this, I lose subscribers. Every time I come here and do this, I lose subscribers. But other people that bully and harass and that, you know, pull comments up that want to talk about crushing people's skulls and all this, they gain subscribers. So you tell me why I'm here doing it. I always say this is a business, but my business will not allow me to sell my soul. I would rather lose subscribers and speak my truth and know of my intent in my heart and my soul than gain subscribers or gain your respect. I don't need anybody's respect as long as I have the respect of me, myself, my family, my mother, my grandmother, rest her soul, and my God, whoever my God is. All I'm trying to say is this. I understand, and this goes back to Sean. We're going to have a conversation. I understand that perception matters. I learned this a lot since starting my YouTube. And that's why I keep trying to give these people the benefit of the doubt. I give these certain YouTubers and these certain IG account individuals the benefit of the doubt because I understand no matter one's intent, no matter my intent, perception matters. And their perception is not always going to be aligned with my intent, no matter how wrong their perception is. But I got to recognize that, right? I got to be humble to that. I have to hold in some type of humility to understand that and have a conversation. But I do that and I keep reaching out to these people. And they keep shutting the door on my face or using me as firepower to egg on the pitchfork mob crowd. And that speaks volumes to me. Narcissism, there is, when you talk about, I am a sociology major. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a neurosurgeon, neurodoctor. Like, I'm not an expert on the matter. But obviously, textbook narcissism is a diagnosable. I don't know if I would even call it a disease, but narcissistic behavior runs rampant. And it runs rampant so much on social media. And I think we all got to take a step back at times, including myself, because I think we do get more defensive and it can breed the cynicism that borders narcissism a lot. But I'll tell you, man, I'll just say this. I never came on YouTube to make enemies. I started my YouTube channel because my children were watching Minecraft, Dan TDM, and all this stuff. And we're like, Dad, make a YouTube video showing off comic books. Okay. I did that for a couple of years. I didn't take it seriously, but I met some amazing people, or at least many people that I thought were amazing, many people that I know are amazing. And I found a group, a community of people that maybe we didn't always agree, but we had a common bond. And it was awesome. It was awesome. When I started taking my channel seriously and I wanted to incorporate it as a business, I never changed. Who I am and why I'm here for comic books never changed. No matter what business I'm doing, no matter what fun I'm doing, no matter who I'm around, I live by a code of ethics because that's how I was raised. I have never changed. But it's funny how so many people around me changed. I had somebody that I did a 500 subscriber contest, and I had a viewer that had a little YouTube channel. I had a viewer that won this contest. I gave him a huge stack of books, and his favorite superhero was Spawn. I made them do a video showing off their comic book collection, and I would ask them questions like, "Who's your favorite superhero?" I spent over a week drawing this custom Spawn art piece. I put so much work into that art piece. I gave this individual this art piece just for entering my contest because I was all about being a part of this community. But once I hit a certain amount of subscribers, and once I wasn't willing to jump on the hate this YouTuber just because they have 100,000 subscribers, as soon as I did that, that person turned on me. That person turned on me. That person was in the comments of the same group of IG people on the same IG YouTube channels talking crap, coming on my channel and trolling me, making false accusations about my character. And it showed me right then, these people don't care about community. If that individual thought that I really did something wrong just because, and I'm going to say it, and I tell you, I got sucked in. There was some clip of Jen Mint. It was like a 15-second clip of Jen Mint saying something about a comic book. And I watched it and I said, wow, yeah, I don't know what Jem's talking about. That sounds fishy. I went and watched Jem's video. And I'm not saying I agree with everything Jen Mint always says, because everything's not in absolutes. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Let that marinate in your brain. But I went and watched this video, and I watched the whole thing, and I realized that this little clip on this IG account was taken completely out of context. Completely out of context. So I went back, and I said, you know what, guys? I went and watched the video, and I take it back. This is you guys completely distorted what Jem was saying. I can't vouch for this. And ever since I did that, ever since I made the video about Key Collector, where I disagree with them and I called them out and I said, Key Collector, you're wrong. And I got all the people, the Pitchfork crowd, Death to Key Collector, making death threats to Nick. And I came back on and said, nope, I don't agree with you guys. I may disagree with a couple of silly comic book labels that a Key Collector app runs, but it doesn't mean that I have to get to this mob mentality and make personal attacks on a human being. Ever since I did that, those same people that championed me when I said I disagree with Key Collector turned on me. I am not here to make enemies, but human beings, we are a fickle one, aren't we? I have not changed, and I will always stand up. When that happened with Nerdy Girl, I reached out to her. I had private conversations with her, and I said, you can come on my channel anytime. I reached out to Tom, and I said, Tom, you are welcome on my channel anytime. But I'm going to tell you guys the truth right now. Here's the thing. I would bring Tom or Danielle on my channel right now, and I would ask them tough questions. But you know what these people would do? You know what they would do? It would validate them and say, look, they would take a screenshot or they would take a 10-second clip and they would say, see, we told you, here's proof. Journo wanted to be part of the crew, wanted to be part of the comic fam. He wanted to be in on the Whatnot crowd so bad. That's what they would do. That's what they would do. No doubt in my mind. I have never changed who I am and what I do with my platform and how I use my platform. If there is anything unethical going on, I will talk about it, but I will do it the way that I believe is a productive manner that leads to solutions. Just because I call out people that take a certain approach, I've been a target. Perpetuating hate, violence, narcissistic cynicism, high school bullying, schoolyard bullying solves nothing. Dividing solves nothing. Us against them solves nothing. All it does is it creates a loud minority of people that are growing, and it's sad, that get trapped in an echo chamber of validated hate and anger. And I worry about those with good intent. Those with good intent. I just showed you how we can educate collectors and hold any unethical practices accountable. And I challenge any of these YouTubers or any of these IG accounts to take one day out of your bashing. And instead of bashing, educate. Because bashing ain't educating. They'll tell you it is, but it's not. Take one isolated incident, have some actual fact, and educate them to it. Kelly comments, what's going on? That's the bad side of the echo chamber some subscribers want to live in. They want your opinion to align with theirs. The whole reason I keep mine to myself as much as possible. I agree. And it's so funny. That's why, like, I've lost so many subscribers, because somebody will come in my comments and disagree with me. I will heart their comment. I think that's a sign of respect. I'll heart their comment. I say, okay, I appreciate what you're saying. I hear you, but I don't know. I disagree. I think this. And they're like, they get mad and they unsubscribe. I'm like, oh, so you think that you have the right to just come here and silence me on my own channel? Like, let's have a discussion about it. Let's talk about it. You know, you were just upset that I didn't echo your own biases. Yeah, absolutely. Comic journey. Sean says there's nothing wrong with Key Collector as an application. However, there are a lot of errors. Yeah, I agree, or misinformation. But so does most every other tool available. Thank you. And here again, Sean is a voice of reason. Look, Sean can sit here and say these are issues, these aren't. This is how we should address it. Thank you, Sean. Another well-rounded statement. Thank you. Absolutely. Monotone cards. People that aren't influencers consider themselves the voiceless and want to get behind someone that has a big following and dump on people to make themselves feel like they're a part of something. Yeah, I think there is validity in what you're saying. Obviously, I don't like to generalize. I don't. So whenever we make statements like this, I always try to look at it as an open-ended statement, meaning like there is truth in here. There is some truth in here for certain individuals in certain situations. Absolutely. Now, is it everybody? Is it this black and white? Nothing is ever that black and white, right? But yeah, there are a lot of people out there. It's validation. Night Driver, what's going on? William, what is going on? William says, you took time to watch the original content and verify the information. I'm not too sure what you're saying there, William. Syria Tango, it's just a cancel culture plague that spilled over to the community. We can change the behavior by showing the new collectors how to act. Yeah, I don't like the term cancel culture because I think it's a huge generalization, but there is a lot of that trying to shut people up. Yeah, there is. And this isn't even about politics. Like, you know, there's first off, I believe what we coin cancel culture, that's on both sides of politics for one. Absolutely. But I think again, yeah, I think that echo chamber forces people to try to cancel other people if it doesn't fit into their narrow-minded way of thinking. Absolutely. We can try to change the behavior by showing new collectors how to act, educating them, like the example I just gave. You see someone bidding something up too high on whatnot, go ahead and take a screenshot of them. Fine. Don't talk crap. Don't belittle. Show what the book sold for from the seller. Show a screenshot of cover price or eBay sold and say, look, guys out there, next time you're bidding in a sale like this, maybe do some more research. Here you go. Boom. Sean says he won't ever change as long as you provide a public voice. There will. Oh, that will never change. You're right, Sean. And here's my curse. Here's my curse. My curse is that I strive to change the world, and I'm not some saint. I'm not perfect. I'm not holier than thou. I'm ultimately no better than anyone else. But I have faith in my convictions, and my curse is wanting to change the world, knowing that you can't change everyone. But Sean, when you say that will never change, at least what I could do is, and I go back to this analogy. You could throw one pebble in a stream, and you may not see the impact. That stream is going to keep streaming. It's going to keep flowing into the lake, or the lake's going to stream into the ocean, or the lake to the stream to the ocean, whatever. Nobody's ever going to notice. The 8 billion people on this planet are never going to notice. Mother Earth's never going to notice. But you can't deny the fact that one pebble being thrown into that stream changes the flow of that stream forever. Forever. And if you start throwing enough pebbles, you're going to start seeing the notice, because you can throw enough pebbles in the stream to where you can block that stream. So my intent is I'm going to keep throwing pebbles. We love the community. Take the crooked with the straight. So I'm buying a book if I like it. My money, my choice. I love it. My money, my choice. I love that, man. I love that. Absolutely. My echo chamber is being threatened to attack. Yeah, you know. Aqua B-Man. People who took this wonderful hobby and brought selfishness into it will eventually fizzle out. There's selfishness all over the place in the world. I mean, and that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to explain. Like, this is not black and white. This is not divide and conquer. This is not us against them. Stop putting people in boxes. There's selfish people that are selling comic books. There's selfish people on YouTube. There's selfish people on Instagram. There's selfish people that are saying YouTube sellers are being selfish and unethical. There's a lot of selfishness all around on every side of an argument. And will it fizzle out? I don't know, man, because these echo chambers keep fueling the flames, it seems. Aggressively relaxing. All right, fine. Starting now for the next 24 hours, no bashing, all education. Y'all boys holler at me if you need anything. Hey, look, man, 24 hours, even if it's just one day, let's start trying to make that change beyond Wednesdays. What's going on, man? Is he not speaking the truth? Thank you for being here, man. Joe. Hey, man, deep breaths, relax. Once you put yourself in the public eye, there are people who will love you, people who will hate you, and everything in between. Very true. Very true, man. Thank you, Joe. And you know, look, again, that's part of my curse and my my defects, my character defects, and it comes from good intent. It's not that I care about what people think of me. I'm an empath. I really believe I'm an empath, and I feel like I don't like seeing people be bad people. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to think like, well, they're not a bad person. They're just stuck in their ego, or maybe they took something wrong, or it's just like, they're fueled in some type of hate, and that's sad. If somebody has that much hate inside of them, it's sad. That's why I always try to have a conversation, and it's very interesting because I come from the life that I live, and I never say this to try to flex. It's just to add context, man. Like, and I will say it, man. It's like I've had to protect me and mine by putting my body in front of a gun, in front of a loaded weapon. And you have certain environments in life where people do grow up hardened, right? We have people that don't value human life. But when you look at those individuals in those environments, and not to say that people in comic books don't come from all kind of environments. I came from a similar environment, right? But most of us here, I'm sorry, I can't, I don't want to talk for everyone. We all have our own struggles, but I'm sure many people in the chat here did not grow up in the hood getting, gunshots hitting your building every other night or things like that. You didn't come up selling dope, but I'm not saying that we don't have we don't all have issues, right? We look at abuse issues, drugs. I mean, even poverty. I mean, those things affect all people: white, black, brown, Christian, Muslim. It doesn't matter. But the point I'm trying to make is, like, I think a lot of us are probably in at least a decent state where we probably have a decent roof over our head. A lot of us are probably between the ages of 25 to 55. We probably have decent jobs. We live in a decent home. A lot of us have kids. A lot of us have families, and we're okay, right? So it's crazy to think that there could be something that is making somebody have so much hate that they take it out on social media talking about comic books. So what makes me wonder, what is this person going through? And I could take it there, like I could go, like, that's why it's hard for me not to bring out, like, I'm a grown man with kids now. I'm not 20 years old. I'm not a teenager anymore where I'm out here trying to flex in the street. But boy, I tell you, sometimes I want to bring it out of me, and it's tough, but I'm an educated man that is a humble human being that cares about life. I don't need to be sitting here talking out the side of my mouth, acting like I'm something I'm not right now, or acting like I gotta be something in this arena, because this arena ain't bullshit. You want to go to a con and flex? Get the fuck out of here. And that's where I'll start. That's my one F word for my PG-13 tonight. Come on. I'm done. Sean Miller, I think the Whatnot business model, I can't wait for you guys to see my video that I'm going to drop either this week or next about the Whatnot business model. Again, I got a lot of respect for Whatnot. I sell on Whatnot, but a lot of flaws. And I do have some criticism about their business model to talk about for sure. Yeah. Hey, look. Yeah. And again, I mean, if we want to get into look, guys, I'll say this really quick because I don't want to get into politics, but if you want to talk about agenda, left agenda, right agenda, the people that are telling you about the left agenda are the same people that are telling you about a right agenda, and they're the same people that are pulling the strings of both puppets. There ain't no left or right agenda, people. There's an agenda, and they want you fighting against each other. Just like the agenda going on in comic books. They don't want solutions. These people don't want solutions. You know, you think a majority of Democrats care about minorities or care about low income communities and affirmative action? You think they care about getting your votes? Not all of them. You think Republicans care about Christian values or whatever they care about these days? Dude, as soon as they get in, they want your votes. As soon as they get in the office, they take money in their pocket and they're a spokesperson for whatever brand they're repping. Politicians should wear, just like NASCAR racers, they should be wearing their sponsorships badges. You had Republicans in the office during George Bush, W. Bush, that should have had a big Halliburton sponsor because they sat there and put Halliburton in the bureaucracy as the head of the defense. And then when you had Obama in office, you should have had Monsanto stamped on all those politicians, that cabinet, because Obama sat and put the head of Monsanto as the head of the FDA. Give me that money in my pocket, man. Give me that money and power. Money and power. That's the agenda. And it correlates right back to comic books. These people want the echo chamber. What's the echo chamber? Power. Some of them want money. Some of them like the money. But for the most part, I don't think it's about the money. It's about stroking the ego. If I want a comic book, I look for it and then I message the person and I buy it. Why do I need the other dude with a tool in their handout to be involved? I don't aggressively. I'm not sure I'm understanding what you're saying. And I apologize. TMNT, what's going on, man? Don't you think it all comes back to pivoting your channel to a Blue Beetle speculation channel? I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing there. Comic Journey refuses to have somebody cancel them. Do it while being respectful, though. That's all I say. Let's see, Sean. The only thing you could change is your views and what you do to better yourself and hope that what you learn leads to positive progress and growth. I ultimately agree with this, Sean, but it is change. I believe you're contradicting yourself. This part right here where you say it won't, the only thing that you can change, it won't change. Like, again, this part right here, you guys can see there's my finger. This part right here. The only thing you can do is better yourself and hope that what you learn leads to positive progress and growth. If I change, that's change. And if I could share my knowledge and that allow one other person to, like you said here, lead to positive progress and growth, I perpetuated change. And while it might not never completely go away, I think that may be more of what you're trying to say. It may not never completely go away, but that pebble creates change no matter how small the ripple changes, right? No matter how small the flow changes, the stream changes course. And this is what concerns me, Heroes Reborn. This is what concerns me. They won't fizzle out because now there's a platform for them to thrive on. Yep. And that you're absolutely right. And look, I'm going to say this, guys. Look, I'm going to say this. I am going to use politics again as another example, and I don't want to offend anybody here or act like your guys' politics is invalid, but I am not a Republican or a Democrat. I don't tend one way or another. When I vote, I try to do my best to vote on the person in their personal belief systems and policies that they believe in. When I vote, you'll probably see my voting card. Vote for a couple of Democrats, a Republican, and a couple of independents. Who knows? All right. Donald Trump created problems as a political figure, and I'm going to explain. I wasn't ever necessarily against Donald Trump's political policies. I may agree with some, I may disagree with others. That's how it should be for human beings. What I disagreed with is the fact that he was a bully. Whether you like him or not, guys, he was. And he did it well. And look, he was always this person. He used it. He was very good. He sold this. He did it with his TV shows, his reality TV. And that's one arena. But when he brought it into politics, whether you, like I said, agree with his he was supposedly like, oh, I'm going to go against the grain. Oh, we need somebody that goes against the grain. But he did it in a way that, and the one thing about Donald Trump, he really is all about himself. Like, I believe if Donald Trump knew that he could win president, if he thought that he had a better chance of winning the presidency, running as a Democrat, he would have, because he said in past interviews that, oh, I'm a Democrat. Come on, man. These guys will do anything to get into these positions. So if you guys support Trump, or if you're a conservative, or you vote Republican, don't take what I'm saying is an attack. Please listen to me with open ears, because this is the thing. What Donald Trump did, he used social media and allowed bullies to thrive. But you know what that did? It sparked the other side. Because now, if somebody actually voted for Trump, or maybe they were a conservative, now you got people that are so-called liberals, or they're Democrats or whatever. Anybody that says anything, any minor thing that may say that you support Trump, or that you're a conservative, or you voted Republican, now what are they doing? Now they're attacking you. And it created this dynamic of nobody wants to listen. And look, it's not all Trump's fault. We were leading there already. Social media was already, I'm not going to get too much into this, but it really heightened with Trump, because Trump was an individual that didn't hold back in how he used social media. And we saw a president using social media to literally bully people. And now we have, in me, the person I am during this time period, I got Republicans calling me a wussy with a P, snowflake. Then I got liberal Democrat people telling me that I'm some freaking white entitled, Republican, Trump supporter, whatever, just because I said something that I remember there was a situation where there was a local county bill where they wanted to raise taxes. And I said, no, we've been given taxes. No. And they're like, oh, you're a Trump supporting Republican. My point is this: echo chambers. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Republican, Democrat, comic books, not comic books. You sell on whatnot, or you hate whatnot. Everybody has a platform to thrive if it's embedded in hate, because we have lost the ability to conversate. We have lost the ability to listen, because we get validated by a platform that rewards us. It literally rewards us. It sends off the endorphins in our brain, rewarding our feel good toxins in our brains. When we get someone that says, you know what, Chris, you're right. And that is my concern, Heroes Reborn. Absolutely. That's what worries me. That's what worries me about this community. And that's why I said, you know, I already had, you watched the video I uploaded, what, yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday, where I brought proof. I put all the, not even all the screenshots about people literally saying we need to eliminate influencers at all costs. I went to New York Comic Con and my intent was to start a ruckus, and I did. I had to get escorted by police and security, which led to a freaking fight, a physical altercation. I put all that stuff up there, and you want to talk out of the side of your mouth to say that people ain't inciting violence up in here. Yeah, I agree. It involves politics, and people use politics to push a narrative, but absolutely 100%, it is a social issue. Absolutely. I agree, Sean. We use politics and economics, but it at heart is a social issue. Yeah, Lyric, you're right. And and that's why I said earlier, I don't like to use the term cancel culture, because what is it? What does it turn into? A buzzword. It's a buzzword. And it loses its actual depth of meaning. Until politics is a civil duty instead of a path to money, fame, and power, we will always have a corrupted and broken system. Yep. Have to remove all incentives. X11, agree 100%. 100%. Silver Age Surfer Comics. What's going on? Yeah. Yeah. Well, but again, Sean, hopefully changing yourself, be that, what's that, be the change you want to see in the world. Hopefully you can impact others to change. But yep, it's on them. We are autonomous beings. Oh man. See, and look, I'm gonna Key Collector Comics. Journo, great show. Someone said Key Collector had a lot of errors, and you agreed. There's a difference between errors and there you go. There you go. See, and this is why conversation matters. Error in perception. Key Collector, I'm sorry it took a while to get to this when we, brought it up, but you're right. It's like, and look, here's the thing too. I think, Nick and Key Collector and the whole team would be very transparent to say they have made errors. Yeah, I think that's a fact, right? I think Key Collector has made errors. But I've seen them come out and correct it. But there's also this thing called perception. And funny story, and if Key Collector is still in the building, I'm actually going to be, I have to, I've talked about my whole thing with Key Collector in the past and how I learned and grew so much from it. I've never done a standalone video though. So Key Collector, Nick, anyone involved with Key Collector, you might see a video pop up in the next week or so that talks about, my little, history with making those couple of videos about the app. Because I think it's very important that everyone hears my story in a standalone video, because it says so much on how we all can grow as people and how perception matters so much. And it's very, very important. Key Collector also said something else here. Let's see. People out there say Key Collector has errors or misinfo, but fail to provide examples or don't understand the point of speculative category. I like, again, yeah, adding context. And I think, look, this is what's good about this comment right here is a lot of these YouTubers or whatnot, people that get all this hate, well, I understand that maybe they perceive it a certain way and it's valid to talk about it. They jump to conclusions and take things out of context based on their perception without having all the facts. And maybe even then, maybe it's somebody making a mistake, but you blow it into this big conspiracy theory. Anyways, and I really appreciate Key Collector being in here because it shows, like, you know, and I want to bring up something else about Key Collector. Key Collector gets even still to this day gets so much flack for manipulating the market, you know, and all the, oh, there's a link to eBay on Key Collector, or, you know, they have relationships with certain YouTubers and just pump and dump. I want to give mad respect to the Key Collector IG app for over the last couple of weeks, shedding light on some real market manipulation. And again, look, this is just a certain isolated incident that I'm speaking about. But Key Collector didn't need to jump in and chime in on this issue of somebody on eBay selling fake comic books, basically. But they did. And they posted posts on their IG and helped educate buyers to why this is a manipulative tactic, why these books are not real. Take heed. So I just had to throw that out there and speak on that for a quick minute. All right, guys, just trying to get caught up on some comments here. Let's see. Max just started collecting comic books. Your content has been very helpful. Thank you, Max. I really appreciate that. And this is what, like, I'm going to tell you guys again. It's like, Max, I don't know if you, I mean, do new collectors really want to be bombarded with like memes and posts and live streams of people talking crap about other people, regardless of what you think of their YouTube or what you think of their selling tactics? I mean, do new collectors really want this? Or do they want to actually, like I said earlier, like this whole presentation was about today, being actually educated? How about that? And that's why, Max, I appreciate you saying that. And that's why I like this conversation, at least in the current form, is about done for me. It's about done. I'll say it again. I'm going to have Sean come on the show. I'm going to talk with him. We're going to have a good discussion. I have an individual that I'm talking to right now that seems to be having an issue with the Whatnot seller. I'm trying to reach out to the buyer and the seller on Whatnot. And I'm going to try to build a bridge there because I think it's important. Transparency is important. But when it just comes to this whole us against them, I'm just about done because I can't beat a dead horse. I have a couple more ways to say it. And that's it. Because at the end of the day, I forgot who said it, but I can only do so much before I start giving. And I'm telling you, they're watching right now. I know they're watching. That's what they do. They watch everything that I do because it gives them content. They watch everything that I do, and they're waiting for one type of reaction from me to be able to take that and twist it. But I'm learning. I'm learning. I gave them that power in the past, but I'm learning. It's almost done, folks. It's almost done. And I promise the focus on my channel will be so much more. It already is. I don't do this every day. You guys don't see me trying to like sensationalize an issue and come here. I don't come here every day for hours talking about drama. I still look at my videos. Look at what I do every week. I mean, like Brandon was saying the other day, I mean, I literally have a video talking about how to insert new boxes into your, collection. I've never heard anybody else talk about, and I'm not talking about what boxes to buy. I'm like, this is how you set your box. Like, I try to do that. I try to talk about everything. Oh man, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Hey, yeah, the offer is on the table. We could definitely put something together for sure. I'm truly honored to have anyone on here, especially like, my history with Nick and with Key Collector. It would be fun to really sit and actually talk about that, live with an audience and have people hopefully like, there's going to be those people that deal in the absolutes and that, you can't appease everyone. But I really want everyone to understand, like, when I talk, and again, I've learned, but when I talk about CGC, when I talk about apps like Key Collector or Cover Price, it's because I'm a fan of all of them. And I want, and I don't mean just talk about them. If there's like, if I have constructive criticism or whatever, it's because I want them to improve and succeed. The only company, and I'll be quite honest, the only company that I'm a bit like, I'm even giving them the benefit of the doubt, but PGX, I'm sorry. But I said this before, like when I talk about PGX, it's almost not even constructive. It's like, stay away. But I've said this, whoever the owner or whoever runs PGX right now, everyone does. I think PGX has had a second chance opportunity, and I think they've kind of failed it, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I said, I will be open to being able to give PGX another chance if the owner comes on my channel and has a conversation. That's the only way. That's the only way I, as a consumer, can vouch for PGX as a company. But that's just my opinion, right? And I'm saying that in a way as humble as I can be without it being like completely like aggressive and just completely demeaning of a company, because there are people that think differently about it, but I have valid reasons to say what I say. I think their history has put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, but there's too much quality control going on there still that isn't being addressed, that I can't spend money on, and I would never encourage anyone else to spend money on for that simple reason. But I'm open to seeing if they could change still. Human nature is behind the drive to divide. The technology just allows us to amplify the reach of our particular rhetoric reviews. Sometimes we get heated and modern platforms can create a storm. Guys, I'm not going to be here for too much longer, but I want to close out. But before I close out, I do want to address this too. And I'm going to say a little something, because Night Driver, this is really cool. I don't know what you guys believe in terms of like faith or even like science, right? I do believe that it could be quite possible that we are part alien. You guys are like, man, this journal really is nuts now, man. Maybe all those Pitchfork mob folks were right. I don't know if you guys have done any research on the Palladians or anything like that, but look, everything with a grain of salt. But hey, man, look, the missing link, the pyramids. How do we have similar structures and similar deities like manifested in different parts of the world thousands of years ago when the world wasn't communicating with each other. So I do believe, though, when we talk about human nature, there's a couple of things. All right, sure, if you watch Ancient Aliens, maybe you think that we aren't just this evolved ape. We didn't just evolve from some lower mammal species. Maybe we were enlightened because that missing link. Maybe we bred with this advanced technology of aliens. I don't know. Or simply put, I believe that we are only human in the flesh, and that our human nature only pertains to the part of us that is flesh. And when I say the part, I mean because the part is not the whole. And if you bring into religion, you bring into spirituality, we always exist in three. You bring in science, it exists in three-dimensional beings: Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, the yin and the yang and the whole. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit is the yin yang. The yin and the yang isn't just two, it's three, because you can't have the whole without the yin and the yang. Father, Son, Spirit. You look mind, body, soul. The mind, the body, the soul. And I think the mind is the conduit that brings together the body and the soul. Yeah, I'm going on way off over here right now, but my point is this. Yeah, I hear you, Night Driver, human nature. But are we just human nature? I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm flipped out of my wig. Maybe I just whatever I've been through in life. Maybe I don't think normally. Maybe I'm a bit schizophrenic. Who knows? But I truly believe that we have the ability to access power in our mind that access something that goes beyond human nature. It's called evolution. And it's unbelievable. We think about it. I talked about this on my last live stream, and not to get all, metaphysical, but I think it's very important. If we sit here and think about life, no matter if you think that there's an afterlife or a heaven or whatever, maybe you're an atheist, I don't know. But if we just imagine, it's like John Lennon, imagine there's no heaven, no hell below us. Imagine all the people just living for today. Now, on one end, it sounds bleak because I don't know about you guys. I sit with my thoughts sometimes, and it freaks me out. I'm going like I'm not young anymore. I'm getting old, and it's like, man, clock's ticking. But imagine if we all just sat with the fact that all we have is this moment. How are we using this moment? Flexing about comic books? Do we really feel like that it's that important? Like getting 20 hearts when we log into Instagram, does that validate you in the moment? Or is that just our human nature? Maybe we're not even living in the moment. Maybe it's just our human nature. It's that animalistic nature. Why can't we evolve? We can sit here. It blows my mind that we can sit here and create skyscrapers and bridges and these man-made, like somebody made this computer that can like take my voice and my image and like in a nanosec, like transfer it to a million other like this. Do you guys ever think about this? I mean, think about it. It's crazy. Human beings are capable of so much. We are it's almost like somebody knew of how evolved we can be, but then simply made us slaves. Mental slaves. We're slaves to our animalistic human nature. Because we sit here and think that acting this way means anything. When you are on your deathbed taking your last breath, are you going to sit and think about all the hours that you spent streaming on YouTube? Or all the hours that you spent posting on Instagram? How long does it take for you? Like, how many apps do you have on your phone where you have to take a screenshot of a YouTuber or a influencer? You put the little googly eyes, you put the little, laugh emojis and the clown emojis and the dookie emojis. And then you write this whole essay about like, yo, that's right. They can't handle the truth. Take it how you take it. Like me or not, love me or hate me. This is what I do. I'm here for the real fam, the real comic book community, true collectors. Don't listen to the clowns. Are you going to be on your deathbed and thinking that this is what you did with your life? Are you a 45-year-old man doing this with your life? Like, do you got kids? Turn the computer off and go spend time with your kids. Come on, man. And with that being said, guys, my kids just got home from school. I'm cooking some spaghetti and meatballs tonight, and that is very important with me, to me, spending time with my kids. But it was, I hopefully you guys understand the point that I was trying to make here tonight. See, and just that, and that's perception, man. To come from that to this, that means so much to me. And it goes to show all of you guys, if you guys have good intent, if you really have good intent, and this ain't, look, this ain't me sucking up people wanting to be a part of the clique, because I'll tell Nick, I'll tell Tom, I'll tell CGC, I'll tell anybody as soon, look, I have a sponsorship with EGS, Tony, the president of EGS, I'll tell him all the time, Tony, man, I don't like this. I disagree with this, whatever. But there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. And we all can grow and learn. I just want to kind of give a final little breeze through of some of these comments. Again, I really appreciate you all being here. If we really feel that people are doing wrong in this community, have a conversation. Spread it on a YouTube or on Instagram, but do so in a way that is productive and not counterproductive. I say that over and over and over again. And it's that simple. You know what? Silver Age Surfer, you're right so much. You are right, but I wouldn't allow that. If I had the owner of PGX on, even as much as I will never touch their company. I will give that individual a platform and give him the opportunity to change my mind. And as I always say, if everyone can express their negative views or their criticisms, but as soon as it turns into bullying, they're getting blocked. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they've been a subscriber for my channel for 5 years. I haven't even, yeah, anyways. You know, I don't care. So I will be willing to have that conversation. Comic Man Andy, man, good to see you. 50 watching. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Comic Man Andy. I appreciate you. Got to get you back on the Canon someday, man. We would love to have you back. It's been a while. Anthony says, be not deceived. There aren't 3 gods. Yeah, I wasn't meaning, that's not what I meant. And again, this is all, look, we're not talking about a right God or look, everyone has the right to what they believe in. Yeah, I just meant that it's the oneness. It's the oneness, right? That's what I was talking about. It is one. So, and it correlates to that higher power. So, Anthony, thank you for iterating that, because yes, that's what I was saying. Brandon Metro, what's going on? Creepy Cow Comics, thank you. Dale, thank you, Dale. All right, folks. I also drank way too much water, and I've been sitting here for over 2 hours now, so I gotta. But you guys are awesome. Thank you for everyone that listened. And look, I'm gonna say one more time. Because I know haters are watching your every move, and I don't want to. I shouldn't say haters. Those that are preying on your downfall are watching your every move. Okay. But if those that are watching are still watching, I don't hate you. I don't. It hurt. It's disappointing that we haven't had a conversation, because I feel once we do have a conversation, the majority of you out there, we would be able to build those bridges and focus on the things that we have in common. My door is always open. You can mock me. You can laugh at me. You can say anything you want to say about me and, gaslight me all you want. I know my intent. If you feel that my perception of your intent is skewed, my door is open. Private conversation or coming on the channel, it's all good. Thank you guys so much. I hope to see you guys Friday for a Friday Night Live show. If you guys aren't subbed to the channel, please take some time to do so. I would really appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for being here and opening with an open mind. Sean, we'll be in touch. Guys, be well, be safe, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. And until next time.